So last night I watched this little dude. I don't know if he's in South America or India or what, but the dude had basically a machete stick that was about 2 feet long. And oh, hey, there's where that went. He had a machete stick about. I just found a drink I left overnight. Oops. Hope that doesn't make a mess. Anyway, he found this machete stick. It was about 2 feet long with a blade on the end of it. And what this stick would do is he'd use it to just cut the dirt. And he'd just wail on the dirt for like, just, he was so good at it. It sped up the footage, and in like a minute, the guy's cleared out a 2 inch deep, foot wide, 4 foot long swath of earth. And you're like, what's he doing? He's drawing these circles. And he draws them, and then he digs them out, and it turns out to be like an underground pool. It's called Primitive Unique Tool, and there's like 10 of these videos. These two guys, in like a day or two or a week, they carve out a whole house out of this like perfect earth. It's just perfect mud sand mixture for this. Yeah, I don't think you could do it up in Wyoming. The dirt's too hard, and it's either too hard or too crumbly. Maybe you could. I don't know. Maybe they know some secret technique. Then they use like mud to cure it into cement, and boom, they've got an underground pool in like a day or two, and it looks amazing. I mean, this is film worthy. The dude, if he worked for movies, he'd be in the money if you could do that out in LA. I don't know. Anyway, point being, I watched that before I went to bed. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have those kind of dreams, right? Well, it started out kind of normal-ish, because I've been on this construction kick because I'm thinking so hard about the propensity of building my own little tiny home with what resources I got. And I think I might do it. I guess we'll see. So I was dreaming about that a bit, and then slowly it segued, and I was late to a play rehearsal, and the play rehearsal was being directed by a gal I knew from high school who was she was an older lady, and she was the second in command in the theater department, and she was mad at me because I missed a day. And she's like, well, we're starting tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, well, I was doing a play once and a gal missed a whole dress rehearsal. She's like, well, that's no excuse. I'm like, well, I was building my house. I'm going to be fine. I know how this theater stuff works. I know how to do my performance. I'm going to kill it. Don't get your panties in a wad. Was sort of my thought. And so I was in the midst of the performance. And then suddenly I was in the top of a building, or at least high up in a building, at least 3 stories high, maybe 4 or 5 or more. It was a small building, bluish gray walls, and I had a kit of like ammunition, or maybe it wasn't ammunition. Maybe it was bulletproof stuff, like grenades and knives and stuff all over me in the dream. And I was waiting for somebody and watching TV or something. And I think I was waiting for my dad or something, but it turned out to be a guy I knew from New York coming up the stairs. And by the time he got to the top of the stairs, this dude was he was like Rambo or something. And I had all my weapons out, and I just wanted to make sure, hey, if you get up here, I got the stuff. And then it transitioned again, and I was in some sort of, I don't know, some sort of dispensary or something. And there were all kinds of crops everywhere, and they were just lined out sort of like in a grocery store in a greenhouse, and there was a guy selling a couple something, and I was like, they don't know what they're getting. But I was really short. I was like 3 or 4 feet tall for some reason. I could barely see up over the things. And I was just watching the dude sell to some other people, and I was just hanging out. So, again, no idea what any of that means or why. Because, again, when I went to bed, I was thinking, and I'd been watching a totally different set of circumstances. I go to bed, and a bunch of seemingly unrelated stuff. I don't know what the deep psychological or spiritual takeaway is here. Those are just my dreams. Now, I'm going to have to go do some yard work. Woo!